All right. Live on YouTube now. Let's save today. Finally, guys, a green day. Oh, man. What a rough patch. 4 red days in a row. What's going on, Servo Snow? What's going on, Black? What's going on, Cole? What's going on, Coach? What's going on, Jalen? Anyways, feels great, guys. I don't know what else to say. It's never felt better to have a green day like this. So, I don't know. Feels good to kind of get back on track for the beginning of the month. Some crazy price action with ACY today. I'm just setting everything up as usual, taking forever. What's going on, Derail? What's going on, Scott? What's going on, First Name? All right, so today is day 323, and then we're up 150. So nothing crazy today, but again, guys, it just feels good to be green. That's all I can say. I was on such a rough patch there, 4 red days in a row, and they weren't small red days either. So it kind of just feels good to kind of get my bearings back and get everything kind of rolling back into place for the beginning of the month. To start the month off green as well, feels good. 4-1. Okay, save. All right. Go like this. I am live going over today's trading day. 950K in red days. Finally snap with a green. Alright, there's that. Of course, it takes forever to set everything up. Again, hopefully you guys had a great trading day out there. Hopefully you guys are going to be enjoying your weekend. I will. I'm going to a Mariners game today. Yeah, basics get you back on track. Exactly. Excited to say that I am going to be going to a Mariners game, the home opener today. So I cannot wait. I cannot wait for the home opener. It's in less than 5 hours, so I'm just counting down the minutes. All right, let me post on social media. Today's runners were ACY, UXIN. Oops. What other runners did we have today? UPC. What's another runner? FT. All right, guys, there's that. Let me post this in the room. Go like this and then like that. Alright. That's posted now. Then go like save it here. 1K, 1 million. Alright, that's posted. Alright. Now let's go live on TikTok. All right, guys. Okay, let's go ahead and go over today's trading day. Good to have you guys on. Good to have you guys in. Sorry it took a little bit to set up here. First off, congrats to everyone who was able to watch the SPY today. The SPY passed the $400 mark. That's been a mark that we've been looking at for a long, long time. I mean, this thing, it just continues to chug away. Nothing really to say besides it just keeps chugging away. People just keep paying the SPY. Great interview with Jordan yesterday. Thanks for that. Yeah, David Bond, glad you were able to learn and take something from it. Yeah, today's going to be a cheat meal for sure. And then tomorrow I'm going again. So I'm going 2 days in a row. But when you're locked up in quarantine, it's going to feel nice to kind of get out and enjoy a little baseball. So, and you know me, I love the Mariners. And it's funny enough because I actually saw Kyle Seager at my Safeway. Believe it or not. I literally said hi to Kyle Seager. I'm not like, he has a mask on and all this, and I'm just like, and I see him in the store, and I'm like, that's not Kyle Seager. And then I start to realize, I'm like, dang, like, that looks like Kyle Seager. And then I'm like, and then I get in line, and I notice, like, he's behind me, and I'm just like, screw it. Let's just ask him. You know, I got nothing to lose. So I turn around, and I'm like, I'm sorry, but are you Kyle Seager? And he was like, yeah. And I was just like, dang, like, my breath kind of like got taken away because I just wasn't expecting that. Someone that I watched on TV for, you know, so long, you just weren't expecting it. So, anyways, that was pretty cool. That was pretty awesome to see Kyle Seager in the store and say hi and kind of just wish him good luck on the season. Weird to see him in Safeway, but, you know, whatever. Small world. Crazy, crazy world we live in. So, and especially because it's like 2 days before home opener. So, anyways, I'm really, really excited to go to the game tonight and then go to the game tomorrow as well. So, the only thing that sucks is that I couldn't find tickets behind home plate. Looks like they're all booked up just because it's probably 25% capacity. But at the end of the day, it is what it is. You know, that's just the way, that's the world we live in. So, but yeah, guys, so I just wanted to cover today and kind of, no, Kyle Seager. Kyle Seager. He plays on the Mariners. I saw him in the store. I said, what's up? Kind of had a little conversation. It was nice. Nice guy. Very nice guy. Christopher, yeah. Imagine if he was like, are you the millionaire trader? I mean, he probably didn't realize that I was, but there was a funny like tweet that someone made in the chat. And it was like Kyle Seager tweeted out, like, was that Can the Scam? Stonks only go up or something like that. Or I saw him at Safeway. It was pretty funny. Anyways, but all right, guys. So. Anyways, today's the first green day. I've had a rough patch, 4 red days in a row. As always, guys, I'm always going to be transparent and honest with you guys and kind of go from there. But obviously today I'm going to go over the main trades that I made. And that was 1 short and 1 long on ACY. Okay? Some IG fun. But anyways, so, you know, this is obviously a former runner, and I believe they had some news today about, like, how, you know, I think they're going bankrupt is what I heard. So, you know, I was playing this one, and you could see here on my short. So, I ended up starting the day off red as usual, and I'm like, oh my gosh, are we going to go down this path again? 5 red days in a row? Like, this is just not happening, right? And then I'm looking, and I'm like, I'm down like another $90,000 today, and I'm just sitting here, and I'm like, what is going on? But, and then, you know, at the end of the day, you know, this was a tough trade. I mean, look at the huge move. If you try to short the front side at any of these moves, you would get crushed. And the shorts were very, very expensive on the stock. So, of course, I trade VIAC out of the gates, nothing. GSX, I make a little bit back, then I give it all back at MVIS, and then VIAC try again. Mara, I take a nice $32,000 loser, because I thought, you know, on Mara, I really did like it, because I thought Bitcoin was going to break new highs. And then this was a 52-week high breakout, and I was like, wow, like this is actually moving, you know? Gosh, Mara was at 35 cents. Like, 30, does that even... Ugh, that is ugly. to look at. 35 cents. I don't even want to know the math on that if I put just 10 grand into that. Someone do that. What's 10 grand? I put in at 35 cents, take it out of $50. 35 cents in, 50 out, 10 grand, total capital in. Let's see here. I mean, good gosh. Ugh. Anyways, I can dream. You know, a man can dream, all right? Anyways, so I'm watching this one, and I know it's a 52-week high breakout, and I'm like, okay, I'm buying some of these dips on the washes in here, looking for a 52-week high breakout. And then, of course, we just break down, and I smashed out of there for a $32,000 loser. Finally, though, we had ACY. And here's where I made my trade, okay? ACY, you can see here, $141,000 on the short. So I paid a lot of money for those shares short, too, by the way. I probably paid, I don't know, close to 20 grand. I ended up selling them back, and I got about 5 grand back. But still, 15 grand in short fees. I mean, I knew it was expensive, okay? At the end of the day, I knew the bars were going to be expensive, and I was accepting that because you can see here, my average short, let me show you the short here. I had 106,000 shares short, okay, at 10, 12 in, 9, 14 out. So on ACY, guys, all right, it's hard to explain exactly what I'm thinking all the time, especially in a certain limited amount of time, okay? But I started to, so this thing had a huge extension, right? And I knew there was resistance on the daily chart right about that $11 mark, right in here. You can see all the resistance and all the volume that was trickling from that in there, right? And so, you know, seeing that, you know, start to like, I knew there was a ton of resistance and how fast we had gone up. So the faster we go up with more extension, more volume, and bigger the 1 minute candles, the more I'm willing to short. So if this just goes from here to here, right, same spot, even quicker, then I'm probably going to size in a little slower. The faster it goes up, the amount of volume that it goes up, and the amount of how big the candlesticks are in the 1 minute and the 5 minute and the 15 minute, and then the resistance around the yearly and the daily as well, are all factors into reasonings on why I'm taking my positions. Okay? And also it has to do with the speed of the tape. There's a lot of things that go with trading, guys. There's a reason why 90% of traders fail. It's not easy, okay? It's not easy. It's very actually hard to trade. I mean, I try and stress that a lot. It's not easy to do what I'm doing, okay? But I've been doing this now for almost 4 years full time. So I had that experience under my belt to understand, okay, this is going up this fast, and the speed of the tape, and the look of the tape, and the level 2, and time and sales, and then you kind of look at social media and see who's talking about what. All these things go into the ingredients of why I'm taking my positioning, okay? And so the reason being is it went up pretty fast. Within 30 minutes, we had a 100% move, basically. The volume right here was the highest volume of the day. So to me, when I see kind of a move to the upside like this, and then you get an exhaustion candle, which is like move, and then the blowout, which is like all the volume of fear missing out, which is a FOMO, basically just chasing this thing up, okay? That, to me, was basically the top right there. And then I started to short a little bit more on the wicks. I wasn't getting the greatest of fills, but then I nailed the cover, okay? The cover that I had, luckily I covered that because this thing ripped up to 15, and then I would have been under the water a ton. Today would have looked a lot different. So I covered it up at 914.8, 106,000 shares short. I started shorting on all these wicks in here. And then once we got under 9, I tried to, in my head, I was like, I want all my covers under $9 a share. So I tried to get everything under $9 a share. I didn't nail it perfectly. And then this thing rips back up, right? And here I am trying to, take a long on it. And then I'm trying to take, you can see here, ACY, I took a long at 1350, made 15,000. But I'm taking losses on the long side as well. And I'm trying to short it. So I'm trying to get a feel in this time when it's kind of up here. I'm trying to get a feel for the move. And, I really did want to short it, but I told myself, this has gone up way too fast, way too far. When you get above 300% intraday, okay, when you get above 300% intraday, guys, it's you have to start to realize anything above 300% intraday can really rip and ramp. It can really ramp up to 400%, to 500%, to 600%. 250 to 300% intraday is where I look for stocks to really start to rip and ramp. When you get in that price range, I start to know it's very liquid, and I start to know this thing isn't going to go away easy. Okay, that 250 to 300% area is my criteria in the back of my head, right? And so when I see that, I'm like, okay, this thing is over 300%. Now, what do? I start to long basically all in here. This is where I take my entry. You can see here ACY, 1231 in. So I actually had not a great average. I mean, 1231 was right on that white line, right there. Okay. So, and I had good size on it too. So I started to basically, start along there, realizing that, I knew that people were trying to short the stock. The shares were available short. So when you see a stock up that high, people will try and short it left and right. But that can also cause a bigger squeeze. Okay. Now, like I said, that 250 to 300% price range, right? It's the area where I look for a consolidation on a downtrend, and I start to long the hell out of it, looking for a new high a day. Okay? That's one of my bread and butter setups. Okay? Without going into huge detail and without going into, obviously my course goes into more extent about, all my strategies and my process and my plan. But anyways, so obviously liquid as hell, obviously up big on the day. So I start to long it. I took size in here. I got a starter like somewhere in here, I think, and then I kind of started to add on the way down, but then I took my size down in here to lower my price average. Then I started to add some of those dips right in here, okay? Now, I really thought this thing was going to get above at least 15, and maybe we'd see a nice squeeze to 18 to 17. The only thing that was scaring me was the weekend on how, it's a 3-day weekend, so a lot of people probably took today off in order to go on vacation, okay? At least a lot of traders would. I mean, that would be, if I was smart, I would take Thursday off and have a 4-day weekend, right? Anyways, so all that being said, I know it's liquid. I know there's a ton of shares churning. I know this is the highest volume this stock's ever seen, right? So all that kind of combined, I'm just basically looking for people to get too short heavy, too short bias, and watch this thing squeeze them out. Now, once we had this move right here, okay, for whatever reason, okay, I liked my positioning. I didn't love the way the chart was reacting, kind of a double top, but then we had this move right here where we kind of faked out and then we squeezed the shorts out. And this was doing that all day. We had a move right there. I literally, in one of my shorts, I took off a third of my size into the fake hold down. And then this thing ripped back up, and then I was quickly under the water. It wasn't an easy day, guys. And then I believe I covered like right in here or something like that. Just to wipe my hands clean. And even if it did fail, which it did, I don't want to be stressed on the short side because I knew 250 to 300%, these things can get really nasty and really crazy. So I didn't want to be short anymore on the stock. I just wanted to stay long bias and control my risk long bias. I didn't want to take anything short bias because you can lose that much quicker and you don't get paid percentage-wise the same as you do short on the same side as you do long. Long percentage-wise, you always will win compared to short. Short, though, you're more convicted and the chart pans out in front of you. So it's like the setup's more obvious, but all it takes is one quick squeeze like GameStop and it can really blow your account up like I had. That $450,000 loss I had on that GameStop short. We've all been there. As traders, guys, we're not living in an easy environment. It's always a grind. It's always evolving. It's always being smarter than the people across from you, right? And at NormackNoseTrading.com, I hope that you guys get some stuff away from me talking and me giving you guys the insights of what I'm doing inside and out. Like Jordan, how he was talking about how we always talk. And, you guys don't get the daily version of that, but at least you get something on stream. And that's why I'm on here every day, because I remember a time when I lost half my net worth and I had no one to turn to, and I basically turned it at NormackNoseTrading.com into something that I basically wanted at the time when I was going through downhill and had no one to turn to, but didn't have it. So I just transformed NormackNoseTrading.com into basically where I have a course, where I have scanners, where I have a YouTube, where I go live over my trades every day, where I go over, I have a free room with a ton of free educational resources. I have a bunch of smart people in the room that are starting to really build their base and foundation and hopefully kind of like give off some of their energy and some of their, smarts and intelligence and knowledge and kind of learn from them as well. It's all about being around like-minded people, guys, and that's what I created in NormackNoTrading.com. It's a free chat room. It's free resource on YouTube. This is free, So anyways, guys, I try to do the best that I can, but when I spent 1.5 years of my life working on the course to build, and I had editors help me as well, obviously I'm going to charge for that because it's a lot of time in my life that went into that. But the most important reason why I charge is because I want you guys to commit. Whenever you spend money, I am 99.9% sure you guys always think your purchases through. I've had free resources for years and years and years and years and years, and I've watched thousands, tens of thousands of traders basically say, well, I'll get to it, well, I'll get to it, well, I'll get to it, and they never do. When you pay for something, not only are you thinking it through, you've already kind of done your DD, but you've also committed to yourself trying to take trading to the next level. And you're like, you know what, maybe I don't want to do this for a hobby. Maybe I want to try and do this full time. Or maybe I do want to do this part time, but I want to try and take it more seriously. And that is what money makes you think about. You're like, okay, do I want to learn from Cam? Do I want to see his strategies? And if you don't, wipe your hands clean and just learn from all my YouTube videos that are free every day and my resources and the ideas that I have every day. But if you want to get into the nitty gritty, obviously that's where it's at. So but I don't want to go too much in depth about that. A lot of people ask, why do I charge? And it's like, it's not even for me because I don't make anything on the courses compared to my trading. Nowhere even kind of close. It's basically just for you guys to make that decision and for yourself and to realize, okay, do I want it? Do I not? Think about it long and hard. And then I know the people that did pay for it are the ones that are very committed, right? The ones that are very driven and motivated to hit that mark, to hit that goal. Like, Jordan has never really seen my course too much, but he knows how I trade better than I do. Ariel is almost my second millionaire student, and he and I have another one as well, right? He is a third millionaire student. I want to confirm, though. I try and verify everything to be 100% definitive before I say that. But, I try my best with what I have, guys. And I hope that you guys are taking a little bits and pieces away from you to build your knowledge base, to build your platform, and go on from there. So, anyways, guys, ACY, I then, once I saw this thing, I was like, wow, it's doing it again. And then I saw this wick and this churning right in here, okay? To me, I had been watching this thing all day. And this price action right in here was basically like, it felt very toppy. It felt very like the tape started to slow down. And on top of that, we kept wicking out. And in this range, I was like, I don't really like the way it's looked. Like right here, I was like, oh man, this thing's going to rip up to 15 to 16 to 17. And then we started to do this, and I was just sitting there, and I'm like, the time of sale seems to be slowing down. The level 2 kind of started to fade out a little bit in my mind. Once we had a top there and a top there and a top there, and then we had 2 tops there at 14. And I kind of knew it was tough getting through 14 multiple times, and it just kept jamming it. This $14 range was like very strong, and it kept refreshing the ask. And I'm just sitting there, and I'm making a decision to myself right in here. I'm like, do I want to hold on to this chunk or do I not? And right in here was kind of like the ugly, to me, like, okay, if this goes without me, that's all right. I'll let it go. And I'll look for a dip entry with lower size. Okay, but right in here, I started to make my decision. I was literally in my mindset. I'm like, okay, I've seen this breakdown many times. I actually took a little bit of an ad right in here, and then this thing ripped straight back up. And I kind of was expecting that because it was doing it all day. And I'm like, wow, this thing could actually go to 15 to 16 in the back of my head. Then I'm like, oh my gosh, maybe we'll get a new high a day. Then it rips straight back down, and then in my mind, I'm like, okay, that was kind of ugly. That looked a little like killish to me, like basically like people were selling it off. And then this thing came back up, and what I was looking for was a rip straight back through highs, and that would have confirmed a move to me, in my mind, to 15 to 16. We didn't get that. Then we had another attempt, but then a quick sell-off. And then another 10 to 14 and a quick sell-off. Another 10 to 14 and a sell-off. We finally broke through, but in here, guys, it felt like 3 or 4 tests and dead to me, which, as a concept that I've learned over the years, is like, you get 3 or 4 tests, and then it's just done. Like it's exhausted and it's over. And I started to sell some right in here and then took the rest off right in here. I actually got trapped on some of my position on that right in there. And literally, I'm so glad that I did because not but 10 minutes later, this thing just knifed straight down like it had an offering. Do I wish that I would have shorted? Sure. But I couldn't get any comfortability, guys. And this thing could have easily ramped and ripped to 16 to 15, and I didn't want to do that. I just, I just couldn't risk it. And that was basically it. I started to take a couple of trades. I wanted to be a part of SPY to buy that 400 for the first time. I was trying to get the 400 break, but I missed it. But anyways, guys, that's really it, guys. That's my day in a nutshell. I've been on here for 25 minutes. I got to work out, and then I'm headed to the Mariners game. I'm not a financial advisor. Trade at your own risk. I have a plan, a process, and a strategy. And that's basically it, guys. Hopefully you guys enjoy your 3-day weekend. Study, work hard. There's tons of content. Just go onto YouTube and say how to day trade, how to swing trade, how to invest. Tons of free content out there. I also have a ton of free content. Maybe go through my YouTube and just study every single day of my challenges. Also, guys, I also have a course. Free chat, link in the description below. Brokers that I use, link in the description below. Brokers, 2 free stocks, value to $1,400, link in the description below. Scanner settings that I use, link in the description below. And that's basically it today, guys. What a crazy day. And I'm looking forward to next week to kind of getting back into the swing of things. And I appreciate every single one of you guys. As always, guys, I'm going to say I'm going to the Mariners game. Who knows? Maybe I'll see Kyle Seager, say what's up to him there. But anyways, guys, I appreciate your guys' time. Appreciate the support at NorMagnetTrading.com. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. I would really appreciate that. Subscribe to the YouTube channel. And I will see you guys. And no, Texas is next week, Bradley. Texas is next week. So I'll see you guys on Monday, okay? I appreciate all of you guys. Cheers, team. And go M's, baby. Woo! All right, guys, later.